Hello everybody, this is a Lamley showcase. Nice winter sun pointing right at this unboxing or preview or whatever I'm gonna do. We're just gonna be looking at some new stuff and some really cool new stuff. I believe this is starting to trickle out to hobby dealers right now. It is Auto World Premium 2023 Release 4. I've got both the A mix and the B mix. If you're not familiar, there's 6 cars in this box, 6 cars in this box. They are the same car, but they're done in different decos. That's how they're released by Auto World for retail. And for hobby, you can go J-Car diecast those once they get them. I don't think they're out totally yet, but like I said, they are trickling out. And we're going to showcase them today. Open them up, put them on the turntable, and have a look. Couple new castings, at least I know one new casting. Actually, I think there might be 2. First thing to do, get rid of the tissue paper. These are how these are packed. The Auto World cars, they always have the tissue paper to keep them protected, but we're not worried about that. And I have a crinkly coat today because it is quite chilly out. But let's get right to it. I think we have the Supra here. And as a little added bonus today, I've got the JCCS Supra. I've done enough showcases of this, but I haven't actually opened one on a YouTube video. So I'm going to open one today so you can take a look at it. And I'm also going to open the Chase, something that our friend Champion DJK has done on YouTube, but something I haven't. So we'll talk about that once we get to the Supra. But let's get to it. A mix and B mix. Hopefully I'm getting these right. Get this out of the way. I think I am. Let's move the camera down a little bit. And as I always do, I'll show you Premium Series Release 4. This is version A. Premium Series Release 4. Let's get the shadow out of there. This is version B. You'll see there's usually a color combination. It's just reversed for each mix. And yeah, I think this is a new casting for sure. It is the 2021 Dodge Ram 1500 Bighorn North Edition. Auto World True 64 164. So if it's a big truck, it's going to be a big truck. If it's a small car, it's going to be a small car. There's some detail there. The color in this very, very bright sun is Patriot Blue on this one. I will put this for the turntable. I'll put these in the studio so you can see the color nice and clear and it's not kind of distorted by this very glary sun. There is the artwork. Limited edition. They don't have the count here on these cars or on these vehicles. There's the back. There's that if you want it. Ultimately, this is a new casting. We've seen a the large Ford truck, current truck, the large Chevy truck. I believe there's one hitting the Auto World store here right now that's getting shipped, and now we have this Dodge Ram. I think this is totally built from scratch. Obviously, the casting is, and I believe the wheels are as well. Sometimes they'll give, this is the first release of our new 2021 Ram. So this is the 2021. We already saw that. And that is the version in Patriot Blue. I like these. I've said this before in videos. I think that the current trucks are kind of boring, but Auto World is about doing real replicas of real cars, and the execution on these is fantastic. That's one color. The other one is in, oh boy, that is really glary, isn't it? Can't even read it. Delmonico red, kind of a maroon color, not to be confused with an ultra red. Boy, look at that. Sure picked a nice time to be filming, didn't I? 2021 Ram Bighorn North Edition, same thing here. There is the art, and here is the model. You can see the cool thing about this stuff is the interior gray. I think they're both gray. Is this a two-tone interior? I don't think so. It's all gray inside. It's got that big monster Ram grille on the front. What I like about these trucks, if anything, is the utility nature of them. Obviously, we got the hood open on this one too, so you can take a look at that. But these are trucks as rolled right off of the showroom, right? Of the showroom floor. So, a lot of times when we see trucks in 164, especially current trucks, they're lifted, they're slammed, and obviously Auto World does that too, but this one is very much a stock utility truck, and I guess that's what they're meant for. So that's cool. All right, let's move that out of the way. Let's get to one that I am super, super excited about. Version A and version B. Muscle wagons is the theme. It was muscle trucks on the other one. This is version A of the 1970 Chevy Kingswood Estate. We have seen the Kingswood before, but notice it says new casting here. The Kingswood, the lead sled, is one of my all-time favorite Auto World cars. If you're looking at this, it might look familiar, but this is actually a new casting. Misty Turquoise Poly is the color on this one. We get the nice wood paneling. And it says this is the first release of our new 1970 Chevy Kingswood Estate casting. I'm wondering if there's other details on the other one. I think this has got a new front grille. And I don't have the old one to compare it to, but we'll have to look. Maybe I can put it on the turntable or something like that so you can look at it. So silhouette-wise, I think this is very similar, but there are some updated details on this one. I do notice, and I don't know if that was the case in the old one, that they do have the what we called growing up the back of the wagon, where you had the seats in the back that didn't have seat belts. I don't know if they did on the Kingswood Estate, but we'd call it the back, and we'd actually put the seats down, and we would tell our dad, this is me and my brothers, we'd sit back there, we'd hold on to the back tailgate and tell him to brake real hard and see how far we'd roll and just smash our heads against seats and everything else. Might be helping you figure out things, right? That's how we did it. Seatbelts were optional back in the day. All right, this is version B of the Chevy Kingswood Estate. In champagne gold poly, among the glare there, it is. It just says this is the same of the 1970. I think it might have been a 69 prior to this, so this is the 70 with a different grille. This has the rear-facing third row seat. It required the two-way tailgate for passenger access, which we have there on that one. So this one is in that kind of metallic metal flake tan color or gold color with the fantastic wood paneling. Two different wagons in our family that had wood paneling. We didn't own a Chevy Kingswood because my grandfather owned Ford dealerships, so it was always going to be a Ford or Mercury in our house. But I definitely relate to a wagon like this, and I have just loved these ever since, and I know a lot of you agree with me. All right, moving on. Love those wagons. Love these as well. 1973 Ford Mustang Mach 1. They did do a new grille for this one, but it's probably the third and the fourth colors. This one's in bright green gold poly. 73 was the last year of the first generation Ford Mustang. 1974 brought significant design changes. So this is 73. Okay, first and foremost, I love this Mustang. And I say this with all the love in the world, it's a pretty ugly car, but wonderfully and beautifully ugly. Does that make sense? Maybe it doesn't make sense. I love everything about this. It's unique. I think it's considered, well, among Mustang aficionados, maybe not. But this color, these stripes, I love this. This is such a great casting. It's one that I should probably pull out all the versions of this. And this is one they did for the recent muscle car show in Rosewood, Illinois, just this last weekend. Hopefully I can get my hands on that. I'll have to showcase that as well. Love, love, love the color on this one. Bright green, gold poly. And here's version B in pearl white. Easy enough. And that's really good looking as well. I'm more partial to the green, especially on a car like this, but this looks nice too. Wheels are cool. Anytime you get you get some sort of print on the tires, it always makes it better, I think, especially on these muscle cars. Any race car, muscle car, I love that. And these are just beautifully executed cars. What is that? What does that license plate say? Can you see it in the sun? Mach speed, is that what it is? I think that's what it says. Anyway, those are fantastic. That is the Mustang. Moving on. An old classic returns, one we haven't seen in a while, and check this out. Version A of the 1964 Ford Galaxie 500 XL. Looks a little lifted. Vintage burgundy poly is the color. Large teardrop shaped hood, was originally made for the 1964 Ford Thunderbolt factory belt drag racer. This casting also uses our raised race chassis, differing from the lower stock version. Another one I could probably do a compare and contrast in the future. So this one sits a little high for racing. I'll tell you, the interior on this is what really stands out. I mean, the color on the body matching the color on the rims with the dog dish wheels, raised like this with the tan interior, that is just, this is why I love brands like this. I just, you know, it's like, I think this is a real car, right? I think this is the real version. Like this is a factory color and stuff. It's just a joy to look at these cars executed the way they are. Whether you're a huge fan of these classic muscle cars or not, or any classic car, there's just a certain appreciation, and I love seeing them all together. That's version A. Here's version B. Same thing, body plus wheels. 500 XL of the Ford Galaxy. I know my father owned a Galaxy. I think his was a 65. And this is really fun. He definitely didn't have the racing version. Guardsman Blue Poly is the color on this one. Looks like this one gets the full tone interior color on it. It's the same blue on the interior as it is on the body, as it is on the wheels. First car to feature Ford's new FE Series 427 CI V8 engine, capable of producing up to 425 horsepower. There's a police interceptor package. Ooh, you should do that. You should do a cop car, Auto World. That's fantastic. We're 4 for 4. You know, it's funny that we're 4 for 4 execution of the Dodge Ram. The Dodge Ram doesn't do much for me, but between the wagon, which is going to be way high on my list, the Mustangs, which are beautiful, and so are these Ford Galaxies. And are we gonna? Yep, we're gonna keep going, because now we're gonna get into the classic import Japanese cars that Auto World has been doing, and we get the Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4. You know the Mitsubishi Eclipse is coming. Is it the... It's the Eagle Talon Mitsubishi Eclipse, that first generation. I don't know if it's in the next mix, and I don't know if that's a 2023 mix, to be honest, after I said that I think this is the last. Nonetheless, it's coming up in one of the future mixes. Looking forward to that. But we do have a couple Mitsubishis, right? We have the Starion and this one, and then we're getting the new Toyota Supra Celica here in a second. But Monza Red of this in this one. Were the wheels updated? I don't know. Looks really good. Is this the third or the fourth? I know they did maybe it's the 5th and 6th version of this casting. I could be wrong, but bright red. This is how I think of the Mitsubishi 3000 GT, is in this bright red color. Done very much stock. I know Matchbox has done one pretty stock. Hot Wheels has done one probably a little bit more modernized. It's, you know, it's a little lower, which I think is fantastic. But when I see these castings from Auto World, I love to see them stock. Version B in Panama Green Pearl. I don't know if I've ever, well, maybe I've seen this color, maybe not. The metal flake really shows up in the way the sun is pointing right now. We'll see how it shows in the on the turntable. But that looks really good too. Love that they're doing these 90s cars. This is my heyday. There was a lot of ugly cars in the 90s. A lot. There's a lot of ugly cars now, obviously. And there were a lot of ugly cars in the 80s and in the 70s, but there's just such a charm to some of these. Some of them in the 90s, they'll just like look like blobs. So they were boring and ugly. They weren't really awesome and ugly like that Mach 1 Mustang. All right, that's the Mitsubishi. Now here is, I think, what will be, I'm guessing, the most anticipated casting of this mix. Could be wrong. There's no Silverado in here. There's no square body. They always seem to be the most popular. But it is the debut of the 1982 Toyota Celica Supra. You've already seen this casting, as I already showed this casting. It made its debut at the Japanese Classic Car Show in this TRD-inspired deco with the JCCS logo, the number 18 signifying the 18th JCCS, the Japanese Classic Car Show logo on the hood. And yes, you might see in and around the car the Lamley logo pop up here and there. But this was something that JCCS was looking to have some exclusives for the show. It's one of the premier, it is the premier classic Japanese car show in the United States and definitely in the world, including Japan. And I think Auto World was looking for a splash for this casting, so it seemed like a kind of a match made in heaven, and I was very fortunate to be a part of that, kind of bringing the two parties together. And here we have the debut of this casting done in this TRD classic style, and it also is the debut of their new aftermarket wheel, which looks, I think, probably very familiar as well. So we'll open that up in just a second. But let's look at the stock version of the Toyota Celica Supra, and you can see it's got the stock wheels, the factory colors. This one Version A of the 1982 Celica Supra is in light blue poly. Obviously, it's a new casting. All new casting for 2023, and there's some other details there that we can probably, you guys can read at a different time. But here it is. We'll open up the engine. This one, I love this car. This is how I think, you know, 1982, I think of this car from this generation. I think of those wheels, the details in the colors. I mean, this is a very, very familiar car for those of us who grew up in this era. Light blue interior. This was this the debut of the Supra name, right? It went Toyota Celica, then the Celica Supra, and then the Celica dropped, and the Celica moved away from that name, and the Supras continued on. So that's the first version. I love the factory wheels, everything about it. I might even like this color better. I typically go for the light blue, but the terracotta color on this one, 1982 Motor Trend named the 1982 Toyota Celica Supra Import Car of the Year. Take it in. This one, did they both? Yeah, they have the Celica Supra had the black, was it like, what would you call that? The spoiler on the back, you know, like the window, the rear window cover. And it has the black, the whole back portion is black with the tail lights. License plate, is that an Arizona plate on that? I think it is. We'll see it on the turntable if it is or not. Just so beautifully detailed. I mean, we've seen Hot Wheels put theirs out, which was definitely a very modified version this year. This is where you get the very stock version of the Celica Supra, and it looks fantastic. Should we open this one up? So I'll show you. So now that you've seen these on the turntable, I'll put this one on the turntable. So there's 3 versions of this casting. This one, obviously, the other thing I didn't tell you is half of the assortment went to the JCCS, and it sold out same day. Sold out in just a couple hours, which was awesome to see. I was very excited to see that. The other half went to the Auto World store, which is Auto World's version. I'll open this another time, but they do exclusives for the Auto World store, kind of like an RLC. And you can buy them, have them shipped, you know, and they did the other half of just this run of 2496, 2500. The other half were sold, a little more than half were sold in the store, and it's sold within a day or two. It sold out too. So this has been a very popular casting. So there's kind of 3 versions of this. There's the obvious, there's this one that you could get from the Auto World store and at JCCS. There's the Chase that was randomly mixed in, both at we gave some away, but also mixed in at JCCS, or mixed into those that were buying it and mixed into those that bought it on the Auto World store. We're gonna open that up. This was one of the examples I got that had a little bit of a crushed blister, so we're gonna open that. And there actually is this version. So the version that was sold to JCCS had this special sticker on it, and you know, has the date of the show and the special logo of the show, and we wanted to do that for those that were getting the car at the show. So if you're wanting this version, I think the only way to get it is on eBay. We were very adamant about it only being sold, so if we had any extra, we didn't make them available. This was only sold at the show. So once it was sold out, this stickered version was from the show. So yeah, if you see that you want to buy this version with the sticker, you want to buy that on eBay. Just look for that sticker placed in the same place on all of them. There are some Chases that have that sticker as well. All right, that's enough explaining. Let's just show you the car. It's just so cool. I'll open it here in the sun, and then we'll put it in the turntable in the studio. There it is, as shadows are now starting to form. TRD inspired, Auto World logo, JCCS logo, Lamley Group logo on the back, along with Auto World store and the Supra logo. Lamley Group logo on the windshield as well. Obviously, I was stoked that I could be a part of this, and it was really cool that JCCS and Auto World were saying, yeah, we're going to put your logo on this as well to give it kind of that racing vibe, along with the JCCS and Auto World logo. The car is just so cool. Just so cool. The wheels on it are fantastic. I love those gold rims. I like how, you know, Chad Reed was involved in designing this. You know, Chad from the Auto World videos. We kind of talked about what we wanted to see out of this, and then we liked the TRD inspired version of this, and Chad took that on but just went so above and beyond in the design, which we just loved. And then he also created the Chase. A couple things you'll see. Well, I'll just open this up. I'll show you. Everything's the same in the packaging. It's just, did you get the Chase? Were you lucky enough to get the Chase? Auto Ultra Reds or Auto World's Chase. There's also Ultra Raws. There's not one done for this one. Oh, I don't open a lot of Ultra Reds, but there we go. I've been wanting to open this one. So usually what happens is the body turns red. In this case, the base base color of the body is white, so they turned that into the ultra red color. Everything else stays the same, so the TRD logo is on top of it, and in some places it's hard to see, right, that red color. But there's some other changes, and even the JCCS logo on the side is kind of hard to see. But a couple things. I'll show you the base of the regular. Check out the base of the ultra red. Chad turned it gold, and he made the rims all gold as well. So that's a nice little touch for those that get the Chase. I don't expect very many people to open it, so I'll open it for you. And I've been wanting to display the Chase loose, because on its own, if I would say the reds of the TRD don't match exactly the ultra red, so it does look a little different. We've seen that with the Gulf ultra reds as well. That orange and blue over the red, it's probably not ideal, but still, it really is kind of cool on its own with those yellow and orange stripes running through it, and then those gold rims and gold base. It's just a very, very cool model. Trying to open the hood on this one is very hard. I can try to, but I don't want to damage it. And I don't think there's gold elements in there, but who knows? It's an absolute stunner of a model, and it was quite the cool thing to be a part of it. Shadows are coming in crazy, everybody, so I'm going to shut this down. But I wanted to get through this mix because we're going into the Lamley Awards, and we're going to have the Auto World Tournament on Instagram very soon. All those details will be coming. You might see some of the cars from this mix in that tournament, and so you want to be ready to vote on there. But now that we've done this showcase, we're ready to go. You guys tell me what you think. Thanks, everybody. Bye.